Pacific Ocean. It's the Junior Kekuewa Jr. Show, starring Junior Kekuewa Jr.
Yeah, I like to myself.
Join Junior along with the Wayne Borje Band as he makes any kind from Hawaii.
You have no idea.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, Junior Kekuewa Jr.
All right, how you Hawaiians? Hawaiians, bro. Let me tell you guys. I gotta. Whoa, hey, Hawaiians. All right, hey, mahalo. Thank you very much, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Junior Kekuewa Jr. And this is the podcast that it's actually a law of attraction comedy podcast. Okay. Now, what we talk about is self-development when we say law of attraction. So on today's podcast, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But first, an attitude of gratitude. We got to say that India is really like increasing their percentage of listenership. We have a network called Ghana, Gaana. We belong to that network in India. And they also feed us to neighboring countries in India. So if you're on the Ghana network, we'd like to say thank you very much. Mahalo from Hawaii and aloha. Yeah, there you go. So now Apple Podcast, just to run down, really, really quick for you guys, because we're being heard in 56 countries and 42 American states. And Apple Podcast used to be like up in the 80s, like 80%, something like that. It's now 50.3%. Okay. Also, iHeartRadio is 15.5%. And that's kind of funny because, like, I used to be on this radio station locally here in Hawaii and on iHeart, and now my on the iHeartRadio app, it's like going up like crazy. It's unreal. And Spotify 10.3%, web browsers 9.7%. Spotify for podcasters, 7.1. Castbox, hey, want to say mahalo to Castbox. They haven't appeared on our radar for a while. 3.2%, and other is 3.9%. That makes up our audience. And today's podcast is going to be about the law of attraction, okay? Now, the reason why we're doing this is because there's so many people, and I mean so many people, okay, that are like on edge. Everybody's edgy. Okay, everybody's temperament is like, whoa, like that. A lot of anxiety. So a lot of my clients, my life coaching clients that I see, and I see people nationally, the majority of my clients are in the United States. Some of my clients are outside the United States, and on occasion, like, different countries and whatever. Right now I have clients in the UK and stuff. But here's the thing, right? Like, no matter where you are, okay, if you're feeling anxiety, if you're worried, if you're feeling like all that kind of stuff, right? I've actually worked with a lot of people with PTSD, and they have triggers. I mean, really, you have triggers, right? You get triggered from this, you get triggered, you see something on social media, like, oh, wow, what's that? Like, oh my God, that kind of thing. And you get triggered. So it's important to, do some things to counteract these things. And that's what we do. That's what I do at Here For You Life Coaching. Now, the website is hereforyoulifecoaching.com. If you guys want to check it out, you check out the website. And we have a men's section and a women's section. And this is because men and women react differently to things, okay? Because they're hardwired differently, okay? So women are hardwired for survival, and men are hardwired for logic. That doesn't mean that women aren't logic thinkers or anything like that. No. Actually, there's a balance there somewhere, right? And sometimes they pull more to the emotional side because they're emotional beings than men. And we have programs that are actually tailored for people. Now, here's the thing, right? If you have anxiety, if you're worried all the time because you get bad news, right? You go on TV, there's bad news. I don't even watch TV. I don't watch movies, right? I'm too busy working. But anyway, I'd like to, spend my time on other things, right? And so when you're a teacher, you're either learning or you're teaching, and then you got to go learn some more, and then you teach some more, and then learn some more, and then so I'm either learning or teaching or sleeping. Basically, that's basically my life. But so if you have anxiety, I've worked with people that have PTSD. I've worked with people that have mild forms of autism very successfully. Very successfully. People that have bipolar disorder, very successfully. And these methods just calm you. They calm you from the inside, okay? So what am I talking about? I'm talking about affirmations, meditation, visualization, and vocalization, okay? Now, not the kind of vocalization that you may think of like, oh, you got to talk about your problems or no, nothing like that. And here's the thing, right? The difference between what I do and therapy is with what I do, you never need to say what's wrong. It'll just fix it. So you don't need to like sit down and regurgitate bad stuff, okay? Basically, when you go to therapy, right? When people go to therapy, and I'm not bashing therapists at all. I'm just saying what happens. And I'm speaking from knowledge of the subconscious mind, okay? I'm not talking about anything else. I'm not talking about therapy or therapists in general. This is about the human being. So the way the human being works, right? When you go into recall, when you recall what happened, let's say, last week, Tuesday. Now, trauma is defined as an emotional event that was negative, okay? That was excessive, okay? That you remember and you recall over and over and over. And the reason why it's hard to get rid of is because you think about it over and over and over. So here's what happens with therapy, okay? So you're going along with your day, right? Something bad happens. Let's say something bad happens on, Saturday, okay? Something bad happens on Saturday, okay. Now, on Sunday, you remember what happened on Saturday, right? Okay, so now you're regurgitating those thoughts, okay? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you go to therapy, Friday, okay? And let's say that, you go and tell your story or whatever happened to you on Saturday, okay? Now you are repeating it with your voice. You're vocalizing what happened, okay? Now this is being cemented into your subconscious. Why? Because your most dominant thoughts get cemented into your subconscious mind, okay? Now when you vocalize it, you're like putting the stamp of approval on those thoughts, okay? Now it's firmly in your subconscious mind. Okay, now let's say you get advice from a therapist, and let's say one of the advice, maybe they say, oh, okay, well, just do some meditation, do some feel-good stuff, go take a hot tub, whatever, like just relax, right? Okay, now let's say you're relaxed, right? And you go Monday through Friday, and maybe like around Thursday, you start feeling better. And then the next day, what happens? Well, you go to therapy again, right? It's Friday. Okay, you go to therapy, and you regurgitate the whole thing over and over and over. Okay, so these cycles of repetition, okay, like problems, telling your problems, what you're doing is you're manifesting it into the next day and the next day and the next week and the next week, and you're just regurgitating these things. And you're reinforcing these negative ideas and these negative thoughts into your subconscious mind. Okay, now what we do at Here For You Life Coaching is a little bit different than, going to a therapist. It's not like that. And the thing, we got to say we make no medical claims. Okay. We have to say that, for legal purposes. But here's the thing, right? With what we do, like you never have to sit down and go, oh, I had a bad childhood and, I was abused and, this happened, that happened. Oh, my boyfriend cheated on me. No, you don't need to say any of it. All you need to do is participate in the clearing that we do. Okay, what do you mean clearing? Okay, sometimes I got to ask the questions. It's only me. Oh, it's only me. All right, so here's the thing, right? So affirmations, okay, positive affirmations work, and they work on your subconscious, but you have to write them, okay? Now, a lot of the younger people, I see younger people typing them. Okay, that's not going to work. You need to write it out, okay, first of all. Secondly, with affirmations, you have to condition your subconscious mind first. Okay. So your subconscious mind is like, it's kind of just doing its thing, right? And it's taking your most dominant thoughts. So now if you're thinking bad thoughts or fearful thoughts or negative thoughts or angry thoughts, right? Those kind of thoughts, what it's doing is it's learning these things. Okay, your subconscious just takes commands. It doesn't know the difference between right or wrong, good or bad, or anything like that. It's just taking orders. That's all it's doing. Okay, so whatever your dominant thoughts are, okay, whether they're positive or negative. If it's positive, yeah, you're going to be happy. You're going to be, cheerful. You're going to be productive and all of that. But the opposite, yeah, you're gonna be even more angry the more you repeat these ideas and these thoughts that you have that are of anger. Yeah, like that. Okay. So what happens is with the subconscious mind with affirmations, right? The first thing we do with our clients, and I'm going to give you guys all the scoops, like right here, so you guys can fix this stuff today. Okay. By the end of the podcast, you will have enough information to rearrange and just fix your life. Okay. Because it starts slowly. Okay. So what you have to do is first affirmations, write 100 good, positive I ams about yourself. Okay. So that's like, I am generous. I am kind. I am friendly. I am a good person. That kind of thing. Okay. So you're going to write 100 of them. Okay. Now what this does is it starts to wake up your subconscious. Now there's more science to the I am. Okay. And I am, for example, for you religious people, okay, this is not church, but I'm just saying, for you religious people, Christians especially, in the Bible, God introduces himself to Moses in Isaiah as the I am. And he says, tell the people that I am sent you. So anyways, but that's what he tells Moses. So I am refers to your very being. And if we say that, I am refers to your spirit, soul, energy, everything that's in here. Okay, I'm pointing to my eyes. Then if we can say that, then we can say that the thing that we all have in common is this energy, spirit, soul. Okay. If you want to say we're a group of collective energies as people, that's what we are. But you're not your body and you're not your name. If this is a little too deep with you, follow along, Hawaiians. You're going to get them. Okay? You're going to get them. So if this is a little too deep for you, just have some patience. Okay? Just let Uncle do his thing over here because I'm going to explain it all for you. Okay? Now, when you write an I am, let's say you write I am friendly. Okay? If you write that and then try it as an experiment if you want to, and do it for 14 days. Okay? By the 14th day, you will be friendlier. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, you will be doing small little actions of friendliness. Okay? If you do, I am kind, you will start to do, in 14 days, you will start to do random little acts of kindness. It might be something simple, like, passing somebody a napkin or something simple. Somebody sneezing. Oh, here's a Kleenex. I mean, whatever. Okay. That's being kind. That's being thoughtful. Okay. So affirmations are like that. What we do with our clients is we give them double I ams because they're more powerful. Okay. And I know if you're not familiar and if you've never done this before, okay. It's going to sound like a stretch. Okay. But trust me, you just try it. Just try it. All you have to do is try it. So now we write affirmations like, I am so happy and grateful now that I am blank. Okay. Now, let's say you want $200 extra by the end of the month. So you would write, I am so happy and grateful now that I am in possession of $200 extra this month. Okay. Now, you may not come into $200, right? Like, it might not come in the form of two $100 bills, okay? But when you look at, your income, somebody might give you a present. Somebody might, bless you with something, right? And you never know where it's going to come from, But the key to everything is to be grateful for everything, to be grateful for everything and to see everything as a blessing. Because when you see everything as a blessing, right, and you don't take anything for granted, the world begins to change. Things begin to, become more pleasant. Things begin to become more, conducive to a better life. Okay, so we do the double affirmation like that. Okay, so now what's the next step? Well, the next step would be meditation. Now, when you combine all these things that I'm going to tell you together and you do them every day, okay, it doesn't take long. It doesn't take long. It'll take you less than 15 minutes a day to do these things. Okay, can you spend, so the question is, right? Like, can you spend 10 to 15 minutes a day on yourself to better yourself? Can you do that? If the answer is yes, then I have the formula for you right here. Now, second step, meditation. Okay, do you need to sit down and, no, you don't need to do that. No, you don't need to do that. You don't need to learn Eastern words or Indian words or all that. Okay, don't get me wrong. You can do it if you want to, okay? But I'm here to tell you that you can just be still in the beginning, okay? So what we do in the beginning is we have our clients sit still for 10 minutes. Now that sounds easy. It's like 10 minutes? Oh, 10 minutes, easy. Okay, well, try it. Try it, Hawaiians. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so first of all, if you can do 5 minutes, okay, start with 3. When you can do 3, do 5. So here's the method. Here's how you do it. Get your cell phone, okay? If you're listening to me right now, you have a cell phone. Get your cell phone. Set the timer for 3 minutes, okay? Just start at 3. Because with everything in life, I don't care what you're doing, you got to start small, okay? With manifestation, intentional manifestation, like you're intending these things, right? And you're creating your life. You're creating your dream life. You have to be intentional. I've been doing this since 2008, and like everything I dreamed of happened, like everything, everything and it's not just material things, okay? Sometimes, and I remember this one time, and it blew me away. So I'm gonna say something personal here, right? I wrote down this affirmation. I am so happy and grateful now that I have a new playmate. Right? And I just wrote that down because I thought, well, let me do something crazy enough that if it happens, right, I know it came from my subconscious. Well, guess what happened? Yeah. So after I wrote that affirmation, right, it was about 3 weeks later that I get this knock on my office door, right? And this lady was looking for, was looking for a certain service that we provide. We had a family of service companies in the office. And so she came in and we sat down and we started talking and stuff, right? And she was a beautiful lady. She was from Europe. She was from, I don't even remember the country she was from, but I think it was one of the stands, like, Uzbekistan or whatever. They have a bunch of Kazakhstan. They have a bunch of stands up there by Russia, right? And that's where she came from. And she was gorgeous. I mean, this girl was drop dead gorgeous. And we ended up dating for a little while. And I was like, and I was blowing my mind. I was like, what? I was, and it just happened like that, And I just wanted somebody to do stuff with and go out with and have fun with, right? And she just appeared. Okay, so that's just one thing, okay? But it worked for like everything. So it doesn't have to be a material thing. It could be a relationship, it could be like anything, right? And I'll tell you guys, I mean, I'm not going to pull any punches. I'll tell you guys, it works for everything, okay? Because it's your subconscious mind, okay? So the meditation, right? You start your phone timer on 3 minutes, okay? And then you just sit still and you close your eyes and relax and focus on your breathing. That's all you have to do for 3 minutes. Now, your timer is going to go off. Now, don't set a timer with a, don't do one of those, okay? Just like a, little chime or harp bliss or something soothing, something, gentle, okay? Because you don't want to be, jarred awake or whatever from your meditation. You're not going to be sleeping, but you know what I mean, right? You don't want to be shocked into like, oh, okay, that's over. You want to just gently go, oh, okay, and then turn off your, phone, whatever, your chime, and whatever. So now do that for 3 minutes. Now, if you can do 3 minutes, let's say you do 3 minutes tomorrow, okay? The following day, try for 5. Or actually if 3 minutes is a challenge and you kind of like just make the 3 minute thing, like it's like you get kind of antsy and you get, because there's a lot of stimuli in our society. Okay? There's a lot. Trust me. When you listen to radio commercials, TV commercials, you'll hear the urgency music. Okay. And I know because I used to produce radio commercials. I used to produce TV commercials. Okay. I did all, I had this laundry list of things in my life. I said, I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. So I did like tons of stuff, right? Because, in my mind, right? And this is just me. I'm not saying that anybody should follow this, but in my mind, I have one life. Right? I only have one life. If I went to a job from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and then Saturday it's, I don't know, right? Shopping and whatever, groceries, whatever, errands. And then Sunday it's church and family time. And then Monday it's back on the mouse wheel. The same thing, wash, rinse, repeat. If I had to live like that and then retire when I'm 65 or whatever it is, I think they raised the retirement age now, right? But if I had to do that and, get a mahalo party, well, over here in Hawaii, we say mahalo means thank you. Get a thank you party and a gold watch and, go on a few cruises and die. Okay, to me, that's not a life, but that's just me. So I had all these things I want to do. And my mom thought I was crazy. When I was young, like, Mom, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that when I get older. I'm going to do that when I grow up. I'm going to do that. And my mom is, she's like, yeah, okay. She's busy doing her thing, right? And she's like, yeah. And I told her, but guess what? I did every single one of those things that I used to tell her. Right. And it was really funny. Right. But first, I had to learn how to train my subconscious mind. OK, and this is what I'm teaching you. So hang in. We're going down that road. OK, so if you can do 3 minutes. OK, what you're doing is the 3 minutes that you're sitting still. OK, you're allowing your vibration to take a pause, a vibrational pause. And it's very, very important. Okay, because if you push, go, do, okay, then you can kind of as a visual, okay, if you stick your arm out to its maximum capacity, okay, you could be keeping your blessings that far away from you all the time. Because what you want and the goodness that you want and the things that you want to experience, whether it's, places, people, things, whatever it is, right? These things can be just out of reach for you. And because you push, go, you keep them at bay. You keep it hanging like way out there, like, at arm's length, right? When you could be allowing it in and enjoying life and enjoying things, right? So the meditation, when you start at 3 minutes, if that's a challenge, then do a few days at 3 minutes and then try 5. And so the goal is 10. Try 5. Now, when you get to 5, do 5 for a couple of days and then go for 10. And then continuously do 10. Okay, so that's what I do. I have my phone and, I show my clients when I do lives. I have this live that I do online on Zoom where anybody can come and join. It comes out of Meetup. It's a website called Meetup. And so these people register, right? They get a Zoom link, and then we do our little clinics and stuff. And this is just to show people and to have these discussions, because people need to get back to who they are. People need to get back and really understand who they are. People don't understand. They've been trained. People have been trained to be distracted into things because they have eyes. Okay, so when your eyes are, looking at the new car, right? Okay, you're all about that new car. You can't get enough. Yeah, I'm going to get that car. That's the goal. Whatever, right? But then inside, with your subconscious mind, you have the power to bring that car to you like ASAP. I don't want to say like overnight, okay? But there's a process that you can go about. And meditation is part of that process, because you have to put a vibrational pause in your life, okay? So my vibrational pause happens early in the morning, okay? I do my meditation. I go through this, this routine of sorts, right? So meditation is another thing. Now, you only need 10 minutes, okay? So now we combine affirmations and meditation. Now it's time for visualization. Okay, what does that mean? Well, some people have really, really good imaginations. When I was a kid, my imagination was too good for my own good, right? It was too good for my own good. But you know what? Everything I imagined happened. Every single thing. And I lived all of my dreams. Okay, I'm living the last dream like right now. So I mean, I never dreamed I'd be on a podcast. I mean, it was something. I mean, I never ever thought this would happen. 56 countries, 42 states. No, I never dreamt that this would happen. But I can tell you that with my, the last couple of goals that I have in my life right now, I'm like really, really happy with it because, I affect other people's lives and turn them on to new things and ideas and techniques and kind of, help them with their manifestation. So visualization, right? If you don't have a good imagination, okay, and I know the stats, I know the percentages, and it's a very small percentage of people that are creative in the world. Now, if that's news to you, okay, if you're a creative person, then it's not you. Okay, if you're not a creative person, if you can't make up all kinds of stuff in your head, okay, then you've been conditioned into the matrix, as I call it, or into society, okay, and you've been taught to be a certain way. You've been educated into being a certain way. Okay, now education is good. Education is fine. Okay. Actually, education, formal education will get you a job. It'll get you a salary. It'll get you retirement. Self-education will make you wealthy. It will just make you wealthy. Okay. And you're not, the best part to me about self-education is you're not bound to parameters. You set your own parameters. If you want to learn about that, you can go ahead and do it and whatever. And that's why, in my mind, entrepreneurship is so good. Okay. So now with the visualization process, if you have a hard time with it, I'm going to give you the hack right now. Take pictures of something online. Okay. Like on Instagram, they have beautiful homes and luxury items and stuff, right? They have pets, dogs, breeds of cats, like everything you can think of is on Instagram. So go on Instagram and start taking pictures with your cell phone. Now, you might want to make a vision board. A vision board is, okay, this is a proper way to make a vision board. Now, I see apps out there because I went looking for the app that would make me a good vision board. No, they're missing the mark, and young people are not really making vision boards correctly, okay? In order to make a vision board correctly, you have to take a picture of yourself and put it in the middle, okay? And everything that you want, desire, whatever, like that, right, has to go around you, okay? Because that's what's going to surround you, okay? Now, back in the day, I made a pretty crazy vision board. Excuse me. And the vision board, had all these girls around and, and this limousine and, all kinds of stuff. And then I was like, wait a minute. Like I got to a point in my life, right? I was doing business with a limousine company. And, my consultant company was advertising the limousine company. And I was like, wow, and I found myself like going to dinners in a limousine all the time, and the only reason I did that, I didn't do that just to do it. I did that because, I want to have a glass of wine and stuff. And I did not want a DUI. Okay. Now in Hawaii, we have like tons of entertainers in Hawaii that have been pulled over and charged with DUIs because they just do. And, I didn't want that to happen to me, right? The last thing I want is to, be on television and, Junior got busted for a DUI tonight. I mean, that kind of thing. So I never wanted to make the news like that. So I was like, okay, well, let's just take a limousine. And so anyway, my consultant company was advertising a limousine company, a couple of them actually, right? So when I went to my vision board, I go, wow, there's a limousine on my vision board. Because when I made my vision board way before I started advertising for the limousine company, way before, I put it on the vision board. And I go, wow, that's trippy. That's there. And then the girls that I put around me on the vision board, right? And I still have the vision board. If you guys ever want to see it, just message me on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and I'll show it to you. I mean, it's nothing special or anything, but I'm just saying, like, the only thing that didn't happen was Las Vegas. So I had a picture of Las Vegas on there because I wanted to perform in Las Vegas, and when my performing partner, he was my conductor for years and years and years, Mr. Wayne Borge. When he passed away in 2015, he came down with cancer 2 years prior. So in 2013, he came down with cancer, and then we really tried to get across the water to Las Vegas, but we had no Ticketmaster numbers. So because we're here in Hawaii, right? So we never went to North America and performed, and that's what they wanted. They said, well, look, if he's never performed in North America and has no Ticketmaster numbers here, then we're not going to invest in his show. And I mean, that's business. And that, we heard that, I heard that, and I was like, yeah, that's of course. I mean, if I was, someone and I had to put up, $250,000 for 6 months in Las Vegas, I would want some numbers, right? I mean, could be anybody, could be anything, right? Anyway, so that was like that. But when I looked at my vision board, and I had these girls of multi ethnicities, right? And then I looked at my life like later on, and I go, when I found my vision board one day, I was going through my phone, and it was in my pictures, and it used to be my screensaver a long time ago, right? And I go, wow, there's all these different ethnicity girls, and I used to date like all those ethnicities that were on my vision board. And I was like, whoa, like the only thing, like I said, that didn't happen was Las Vegas. So here's a proper way to make a vision board. Put yourself in the middle, okay? And then surround yourself with the things that you want. Now, if you want a good relationship, maybe you want a smiling couple, take a picture of a smiling couple and put it on there. Okay. Maybe, if you want children, you take a picture of a bunch of children or something and put it on there. If you want, let's say a Louis Vuitton bag, girls, right? Okay. And we have a large percentage of women now on the podcast. So ladies, welcome. I forgot to say that part. Yeah. So the demos, oh my gosh, we actually have more females now, okay, than we do males. And before I was looking like the man show, 60% females on the podcast. So thank you, ladies. We love you guys. We love you. Anyway, so if you want a Louis Vuitton bag, ladies, okay, so put it on your vision board, okay, whatever it is. Now, your subconscious sees that all the time. Okay, every time you go to unlock your phone, right? You see it. It's there on your lock screen. Every time you pick up your phone, boom, there it is. Now, what your subconscious does is it goes, oh, Louis Vuitton bag. Okay, right? And then it starts taking you on little baby steps towards your goal. Now, sometimes, right? Sometimes it's not so exact. Sometimes you do it and like you just get a new handbag. Like maybe it's not a Louis Vuitton. Maybe it's a, I don't know, Coach, whatever, right? Maybe it's not top of the line, but it's a brand new designer bag maybe, right? So, when you, I used to put money, right? I used to put money on my, money was part of the thing on my vision board. And we used to get contracts coming in like all the time for my wedding and party business. And so when, I would write affirmations for like, maybe 3 parties or 4 parties. Sometimes I'd only get 1 party that week. Sometimes, I would write, during the week for like, 3 parties next week. Sometimes I get 5. Sometimes I get 2, but I would get. You see, so it's not magic. It's not the magician tapping the top hat and the bunny popping out. It's not that. Okay, this is conditioning your subconscious. Now, you guys, okay, everybody, myself included, we've all been conditioned by the system, okay, all of us, okay, and I'm talking about TV news, I'm talking about Fox News, CNN, I'm talking about everything, I'm talking about sports, I'm talking about everything. Human beings are so highly impressionable, okay, you have to understand that about yourself, okay, a lot of people go, oh, well, I don't have a good memory. Oh, really? Okay, remember all the bad stuff? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Remember all the bad stuff? Yeah, because it was bad. Okay, see, you see? Oh, did you remember all the good stuff? Oh, well, you see, good stuff doesn't stick out as much unless it's like super good, right? But the bad stuff you carry around forever. The bad stuff you remember, you pull it from today into tomorrow. You think about it tomorrow. The next day you think about it again. The following day you think about it again. And guess what? So your thoughts, right, dictate your habits. Okay, and we call that a paradigm. Okay, so a belief is a thought you keep thinking, and then when it's a belief because you've thought about it so many times, right? Now it becomes part of your paradigm or your systems of actions or your system of actions based upon your beliefs. Okay, and that becomes your behavior. Okay, so how do you change? Like, how do you change everything? Like, how do you just like wipe the slate clean and go back and change? Well, you do it through affirmations, meditation, visualization, and vocalization. Okay, so the visualization, okay, is everything you want, and it should not, I mean, let's put it this way: if you're really, having a hard time with your diet, okay, you don't want to put a hot fudge sundae on your vision board, right? I mean, really, okay, you want to put like maybe healthy food if that's your goal, or whatever your goal is, right? Okay, so just put those things around you. Make sure a picture of you is in the center and you see all those things every time you look at your phone. Now, you also have to see yourself there. What do I mean by there? Well, you have to see yourself in the final result, okay? So that final way of life that you want? Now, that's a big question. I ask my clients, right? So in the very beginning, first meeting, right, I have to ascertain what it is we're shooting for, what target, what's the target? And so my question to my clients is, okay, so what do you want in life? Or what do you want out of life? And they're like, oh, whoa, geez, I never thought of that. Oh, wow. Because it's a loaded question. Now, if somebody were to ask me, like, what I want out of life, right, I would probably just be able to tell them what I'm working on now, right? But if you try to explain the big picture, like, well, I want to live in a house with a 2-car garage, and the 2 cars are a Maserati and a Ferrari, and the house is 10 bedrooms, and there's 4 bathrooms, and you see what I'm saying? And it's a New England style house, and it's and then you have to describe the pool that's in the backyard, you see what I'm getting at, right? Okay, so that's a loaded question, but you need to write things out in detail. Now, it's very difficult to sit down and write out like a movie script, like write everything to the T. So most people just manifest as they go, okay? And whatever they write and whatever they work on, whatever their affirmations are, meditation, okay, visualization, and vocalization, like whatever that is, excuse me, whatever that is, right? They're going to write down, and it's not really going to be like so far into the future, like in every little detail, okay? Now, the how is also something to consider, okay? So the how is always God's job, okay? Or your higher self, higher power, however you believe, okay? I'm not suggesting that you have to believe in God. I'm just saying it's always easier for me to work with people that believe in God or, believe in a source of a higher self or higher power. But some people don't believe that. Some people don't believe in God. They just think, well, they're, I don't know what they think because I believe in a higher power. I believe in God. For me, I say Father God. Whenever I, give gratitude, I say, thank you, Father God. Thank you, Father God, for the cell phone. Thank you, Father God, for the laptop. Thank you, Father God, for the clients. I mean, that kind of thing. So everybody's different, right? Now, the thing about, the how, right? How you get from point A to point B is not important. But people like to plan, right? They're planners. Yeah, they like to plan. Okay, I'm going to do this, which will lead me to, I'm going to start with A. It'll lead me to B, and then C, and then D. And then E is the goal. And then I'm there, right? Okay. I crack up. You know, when I was being taught to formulate a plan back in the day, right? I was taught to, and this is what education teaches you, okay? Now, I will tell you that formal education will take a lot of these ideas away from you, okay? Because they want you to do certain things and they want you to think a certain way, okay? And I'm here to tell you that, yeah, it depends on what you want to do in life. Now, if you want to be a nurse or a doctor or, you know, of course you have to go to medical school. Of course you need training that will, you know, allow you to work in the field. Okay, but yeah, there's some jobs and some things that, you know, and some entrepreneurial things that if you do, you don't need that. You don't need that at all. In fact, Bill Gates never, you know, finished college. Okay, yeah, he had connections. Yeah, his dad was hooked in, but yeah. Anyway, so networking does help, right? It does. Elon Musk, all these guys, right? Like a lot of them did not really finish college. They went into college, right? They spent some time there, got what they needed, and boom, they went on their career. And really, all you really need is the final outcome. What do you want for the final outcome? Let God take care of the details, or let whoever, whatever you think, however you believe, but the details are not important. The only details that are important is what the final picture looks like. Okay, and I gotta tell you that the picture that I'm in right now, the scene of my life that I'm in right now, this very moment, I pictured this whole darn thing like back in I want to say it was around 2012, 2011, somewhere around there. And I started it actually by sitting in Starbucks working on my laptop all day long. And I had an office. I was paying rent on an office, but I sat in Starbucks because it felt good, right? There's music, there's snacks, there's coffee, right? And I sat there with my laptop and I'm like, and people used to see me and go, hey, well, you still have an office? Like, oh yeah, I have an office down the street, but it's more fun over here, right? My office was like empty. I was like, nobody was there, right? Unless I had clients. But in the mornings, right? No, you know, I was over at Starbucks having fun, creating in my laptop, building digital infrastructure. Okay. So, and learning how to do stuff, right? In the digital world. But right here today, right now, I'm doing everything that I dreamed of doing back then. It all materialized and it's surrounding me. And right now I'm talking to you on the podcast. Okay. So here we are in the digital world. So now visualization, right? You have to be able to see it in your mind in order to hold it in your hand. Bob Proctor said that. He said, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. A lot of people can't see it in their mind because they think they're not worth it. They don't consider themselves worthy, right? Like, you know, back in the day, right? I was in a $400 Toyota, okay? But I was thinking Mercedes, okay? I was like, I went down to Mercedes. I got the book, the catalog, whatever, for this car, right? And you know, I didn't get the car at the time, and I didn't know these manifestation techniques at the time. But I went down, I got a brochure, came home, and I was like, wow, this is a cool car. Back in the day, they had a telephone in the middle, in the what do you call that, compartment in the middle between the two front seats. And there was a telephone in there, right? And that was my dream car. And I was looking at that thing and I was like, how can I do this? Like, how can I make enough money to do this, right? And this was back in 1990. This was like way, way back, right? So it wasn't until 1999 that my popularity and everything happened. But this was 1990 and I was like, wow. And I was fantasizing about this. I was looking in the book and everything, right? I was visualizing. That was my visualization. Well, like right now, if I go down to the garage, right, my Mercedes is sitting in there and it's the third one. And it's not the first one. It's the third one, right? And so what I'm trying to tell you guys, and I'm not flexing, I'm not here to brag or tell you, you know, whatever. I'm just here to say, look, you can do it too. Okay. And I show this, you know, I have a Facebook account and every once in a while I put stuff in my stories because I want people to see that, hey, if I can, anybody can. Like anybody. It's not about flexing. Okay, so it's just affirmations, meditation, visualization, and vocalization. But you got to put these together and you got to do it every day. Now, vocalization. What's the vocalization? Well, you have to speak the dream. I'm sure you've heard it, right? Speak the dream. Okay. But you know what? You know what the problem is? People are lazy, right? They go and do a program for a little while. Okay. So like, okay, I'm going to do my affirmations. Yep. I'm going to meditate. Okay. 10 minutes. All right. Visualize. Okay. I'm going to sit down a little bit. Like when I'm meditating, I'm going to think about where I want to be. Yeah. It's that 2-story house with that two-car garage with the swimming pool with, whatever. Right. And then, with a nice view and whatever, and big picture windows and whatever. And then they're going to do the vocalization. Okay, so the vocalization is speak the dream. Now, you don't want to necessarily speak the dream to haters, okay? I used to do that on purpose because my haters, they were so jealous. They were so jealous, these guys. And so I would, purposely speak the dream in front of them. And I was kind of like, more or less immune to their attempts at getting me to have negative self-talk. But here's what happens. When you vocalize your dream in front of you, when you speak the dream to somebody, okay, let's say you speak the dream to one of your aunties or your mom or your dad, right? Let's say you speak the dream to your dad. Oh, Dad, one day I'm going to own a rental car company. And then your dad says something like, you can't do that. Nobody in his family has ever done anything like that. That's crazy. Okay. Now here's what's going to happen. Your feelings might be, a little deflated, right? And you might walk away and you might start thinking about what your dad said. And pretty soon your left reptilian brain will begin to rationalize everything away. Okay. Now your right brain, the creative brain, okay, that one is okay. Okay, but then the left brain goes, yeah, you know what? Dad's right. Nobody in his family ever did a business. Yeah, you know what? I think Dad's right. Yeah, I don't think I can do something that big. Yeah, I think Dad's right. You see, that's negative self-talk. Okay, and then you start rationalizing everything away with your left brain, with your left reptilian brain, and pretty soon, guess what? You give up and you go, oh yeah, nah, that was just a pipe dream. That was just a moment. I just had I was just hallucinating, right? Okay, no, you actually had inspired thought. You actually were going in the right direction, okay? But you met up with your dad and you made the mistake of telling your dad. So the guys that I used to tell, I didn't care, and I was immune to their stuff. They would tell me all kinds of stuff, and I was like, okay, whatever. And I just let it go. Now, when you get a negative thought, when somebody tells you something negative like that, right? All you have to do is say no. You can say it out loud or you can say it in your head. Okay, so when you start thinking a negative thought, all you got to do is go, no, and think a better thought. That's all you got to do. Now, you have to practice this because it takes a little while before it starts to become a reflex, but just say no and go to the better thought. So the other thing with vocalization that we do that's not something that, you could do it. There's frequency music on YouTube, okay? So there's like 432 hertz. I don't have time to get into the explanation of it all on this podcast. That's not a podcast, or 528 hertz, okay? And just sing a straight tone with it. That will help you, and it will help to relax you, and it will help to calm you and soothe you. Okay. Now there's one thing, you can put it this way. You can listen to frequency music. Okay. That's one way to relax. The other way is if you produce the frequency yourself. Okay. So I'm here to tell you that when you do that, when you do the vocalization part, when you vocalize the frequency, okay, you calm faster. It's worked in people with ADHD that I've done it with. I've done it with people who are bipolar. I've done it with people who have learning disabilities, who have mild forms of autism. And it works in all of them, like every single one of them. Okay. I've had people that were just negative in their own world. Because sometimes, when you get hurt and you get angry, okay, you shut everything out on purpose and you shut it hard, right? And you push it away. Okay, there's been a lot of people like that I've, broken free of those things, that kind of stuff. And so that's what this does. That's what all of this does when it's all done together. And when it's all done together, you get a great result. But here's the catch, right? The catch is you got to do this. You got to keep doing it. You can't do it for 1 week and then go, okay, I'm good now. No, you can't do it for like a couple months and go, oh, okay, I'm good now. I've been doing it since 2008. And if you go on my Instagram, it's called Here For You Life Coaching. Okay. Instagram at Here For You Life Coaching. You'll see this video of me with 10 years of affirmations and all my legal tabs. And I show it to everybody. I just thumb through it, to show everybody. But you have to walk the walk. And in order to maintain something good, like you can write affirmations for it takes 66 days on average to change a habit. And you can do affirmations for 66 days. But at that point, if you stop and you go, oh, I'm good now. Yeah, I don't need to do this anymore. I've achieved the brand new car. So yeah, I'm all good. No, you're not all good. Because you know what the subconscious does? It slowly reverts back to where it was. Okay? Because the subconscious is like a muscle. And you got to work that muscle. Like you go to the gym to work out. You have to do that. And if you keep it up, I'm here to tell you, I got my affirmations right here on the side of me in my office. But I'm here to tell you, if you do this and you continue doing this, it's not hard. It's good habits. It's just switching your habits. CEOs do affirmations every day. They do journaling. I don't recommend journaling because it's about what happened in the past. Okay? Don't live in the past. You have to live in the present. We're having one long now. That's all there is. Time is an illusion. Okay? Read up on Einstein and his comments about time. It's manufactured. It doesn't exist. Okay. Never mind. It's too much for me to get into in a podcast and I got to go pretty soon, but I'm just telling you, right? That you can actually, manifest a better life. You can actually, do things that you never thought you could. You can actually, ride in any kind of car you want, do whatever you want to do, meet girls, it's endless because it's your subconscious mind. There's the conscious mind that thinks 1,000 thoughts a minute or a day. Well, hopefully not a minute for you, but yeah, in a day, right? And then there's the most repetitive thoughts go in your subconscious. Then there's the superconscious. So the modern way to look at it is like this. The superconscious is the network that we're all plugged into. Okay. The conscious mind is your operating software and your subconscious mind is your hard drive. When you reprogram your hard drive, everything is fixed. Okay, but you got to maintain it, right? Like a hard drive, if you just let it go, it could burn out. Okay, so what you got to do is you got to do the work, Hawaiians. See, that's where most people get complacent. They don't want to do the work. And when they don't do the work, things don't turn out or things go back to the way it was. And then what happens, right? They go, this stuff doesn't work. It's not that it doesn't work. Oh, sorry. I got to go, Hawaiians. But yeah, it's your subconscious mind. All right. Oh, man. Hey, if you want to work with me, just go to the website. It's hereforyoulifecoaching.com. And just sign up and, I will teach you all you need to know. Also, our sponsors, Brother Randy, Sister Jerry at Island Club and Spa. I want to say mahalo to them. And Voice Master Family of Service Companies and AFM Hawaii Music at afmhawaiimusic.com, home of the Darren Chenen Show. Yay! So until next time, I'm Junior Keiko Jr. saying mahalo and aloha.